All right, hope you're well. I wanted to make a quick video here. Happy Father's Day to everybody. It's Father's Day today here, 2020. Wanted to make a video. I just watched Jordan Hall just released two videos, one entitled OK Boomer, the other entitled Mind Virus. It's part of his Deep Code series, I believe it's called. And I wanted to kind of think out loud through some of the ideas he was putting forth and try to think through them here. I found them very interesting, fascinating. And what he's putting forth is a problem set. And Jordan takes from a lot of different disciplines, from evolutionary biology, evolutionary psychology, assemblage theory, virology, and a lot of disciplines that I probably never heard of, incorporates them in a framework as to try to identify the problems that seem to have infected the body politic. And he uses the idea of a mind virus and a cytokine storm. So a virus, obviously we know what a virus is, and a cytokine storm is an immunological response to a virus, and both the virus and the response have this tendency to kill the body. So the response or the problem set is being put forth to hopefully stave off or come up with some ideas or just start a conversation on how to stave off what looks like a continuous escalation of conflict and violence, which Jordan says could lead to a kind of a total war type situation. And the reason for this is because the two sectors of the population, the left and the right, the red and the blue, the red church and the blue church, have no channels of communication. They don't even have good faith intentions to communicate with each other. And why is this? He puts forth again this virus, this mind virus, that is itself a response to what's happened in the last 100 years, specifically the boomer generation, which has found itself over the last 70 years, since World War II really, to be in charge of all of the institutions, from academia to the media, government, pretty much all industries at the top level are chaired and are led by the boomers, and still so. So they've kind of outgrown and are artificially inflated themselves into the future, taking resources, financial and intellectual, and essentially stealing the future of the subsequent generations, Gen Z and the millennials, who are in a position now where they don't own any property, they don't see a future, and the resources have seemed to be channeled to the 1% essentially that we can think of. And there was a response to that. The response to that, there's a phenomenon in the late 60s. It was the student revolution, which I believe was in France and in the United States, where there was these Marxist ideas of revolution, which itself had a response by the intelligence agencies, the intelligence apparatuses, which utilized effective mind manipulation and psychological operations, psyops, to not quail the counter-revolutionary ideas, but to incorporate them and to overcode them into the state apparatus itself. This bringing in of these counterculture ideas and reappropriating them into this mass manipulation of marketing and entertainment, essentially how movies are made and how commercials are made, how TV shows are structured, are all infected and incorporated with this manipulative, psychological, mimetic warfare type ethos. He also situates the problem from Maoist China, where you had these techniques of gaslighting and minimizing and struggle sessions, which were very effective in China, which were then exported and set off a sort of global pandemic infection of this mind virus, of this idea that has been internalized by the institutions now, by especially academia, entertainment, of course, finance, essentially all of the industries that we're familiar with have utilized and leveraged this manipulation technology, especially now since social media and the internet has really accentuated and accelerated this process and this tension. So the mind virus is this totalizing, linguistic, neurological, and cultural overcoded mimetic warfare that has led to a reaction. And the reaction that we've seen recently is the advent of the alt-right. So we can think of the virus, this exported and internalized mind virus, that this phenomenon that Jordan is talking about had a reaction, a cytokine storm. The cytokine storm, this immunological response that is supposed to help the body, the body politic, the social fabric try to exercise. This virus is actually itself like a virus. This reaction is causing even a bigger dissolution in the possibility of any communication or any discourse to happen between, let's say, the left and the right, between these two sides of this situation that we see ourselves in. There's also this third way of trying to minimize the virus, trying not to be infected, but also not to try to react to it in a sense like the alt-right, and it hasn't been effective. Jordan identifies kind of the Joe Rogan experience in his podcast and his disposition, how he doesn't give in to the virus. He doesn't bend the knee, so to speak, but he also doesn't respond in this kind of reciprocal way. So in a way, hoping to find a middle path, but that doesn't seem to be working as well. Sorry, buddy. Hold on. That doesn't seem to be working as well. So the situation is such that if we don't find a solution, if we don't start thinking through some ways to get through this, we're going to see the violence that we're seeing in cities across the United States right now increase into something that's totally horrible. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video, just trying to think out loud and recapitulate the problem set that he was putting forth. Some feedback or any thoughts on this framework, or any kind of thoughts on solutions, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.